One thing that stood out tonight in Indiana's win over Bethune-Cookman was the ball movement. They were flying out in transition and picked up 27 assists on 36 total made baskets. While Hayworth is one of the best Big Ten setters here at the net, she's also one of the best servers in the conference here at the service line, and her strategy, well, it's pretty simple. Opposing teams have figured out how to neutralize the Indiana front court. Trace Jackson-Davis and Race Thompson have been double-teamed in the paint for the last couple games, and the other players just haven't stepped up and made big shots. There's plenty of optimism surrounding Indiana basketball this season. One of the reasons, that would be incoming freshman Malik Renew. And the freshman summer has been about more than just basketball. All 4 freshmen live together and have created a bond off the court. The Indiana defense was excellent tonight, especially in the half court, stifling UNC's offense and holding them to under 34% from the field. You read my mind. It has to be the Chicago White Sox, my favorite team. And it felt like everything went wrong this season, and Dylan Cease had maybe the best 2-month stretch in baseball history. And actually, I want to congratulate them. Maybe the most 500 team ever. They were 500 in the first half, 500 in the second half. They were 500 at 28 different points throughout the season. If they end up losing today, which I think went final right before taping, they're going to end up 81 and 81. Just the most average team in baseball. It was an exhausting season. They were easily the most disappointing. Early second quarter, play action. Phillip Rivers dumps it over to Nyheim Hines. He's got a lot of green in front of him, racing down the sideline. A spin move, a dive, and he's in for the touchdown. He's got a cartwheel here, and I'm not going to pretend like I know the rest of the gymnastics terms for that one. Indiana volleyball had one of its best seasons in a decade this year. One player sparked the improvement in many ways on the court, but she also made an impact with her career off the court. First Thursday is a festival of arts and culture at Indiana University. One IU student is trying to make a difference through friendship bracelets at her booth. And how has the IU athletic department been involved with the student athletes to help them get deals? Now on to Indiana volleyball, where the Hoosiers competed in the NC State Classic last week. The Hoosiers entered the tournament with a 4-2 record and look to continue their strong start to the season. I got Carlos Correa. He's going to benefit from a PR standpoint. He gets out of Houston into Minnesota, who national media really doesn't talk about at all. So he's going to get out of the spotlight a little bit. He's making dough, too. Huge contract. It has an opt-out after each year, so if it doesn't work out in Minnesota, he can leave, go somewhere else. Cameron Hayworth developed into one of the most dynamic players in the Big Ten as a sophomore. However,
I actually wasn't sure that I liked volleyball at first. I played a lot of different sports growing up. I played basketball, soccer, literally 6 sports.
Hayworth's sister sparked her interest in volleyball. Their relationship on the court was not perfect.
It was very strange. Her and I didn't like each other when we first started, but the more we got to play with each other, the more it was a good bond.
Now, playing with Indiana, her teammates have an interesting nickname for her.
A term they use to describe me is spider monkey.
And what does spider monkey mean?
That I'm very just all over the place. I don't know. I fly around.
Head coach Steve Aird has high praise for her game.
She's one of the best athletes I've ever coached. She's one of the most competitive kids I've ever coached, and she can do a lot of stuff.
While Hayworth is one of the best Big Ten setters here at the net, she's also one of the best servers in the conference here at the service line, and her strategy, well, it's pretty simple.
Hit it hard. That's it.
Hayworth's impact spans off the court. NIL entered the college sports landscape, and she signed a deal with Hoosiers for Good, a partnership with charity organizations in Indiana.
So I actually got to go to a women's build for Habitat for Humanity, which was my first big project with them, and it was really great just getting to meet all these women out in the community and help build a house for some people.
As one of the more involved athletes in NIL at Indiana, Hayworth sees name, image, and likeness changing the future of college athletics.
I think it will be more beneficial within the next coming years now that more companies are branching out with it, but I think it's been really cool getting the athletes involved with other businesses in the community. Careless turnovers were the story of the game. Indiana had 23 of them, which wrecked their offensive flow and led to easy Kansas points.
You can't turn the ball over. I mean, 23 times against a good team, that's 23 times you don't get an opportunity to score the ball. And they came in bunches. I mean, so that's something we got to clean up.
The half-court defense struggled as well. Kansas poured in 84 points, led by Grady Dick, who had 20.
You're not going to win on the road giving up 80 points, whatever we gave up. You're not going to win on the road. You got to have a defensive mentality. You're just not going to win on the road giving up 80.
Opposing teams have figured out how to neutralize the Indiana front court. Trace Jackson-Davis and Race Thompson have been double teamed in the paint for the last couple games, and the other players just haven't stepped up and made big shots.
If I'm coaching against this team, I'm going to double him too. He's not going to get a lot of touches when they're taking the ball out of his hand. Guys around him have just got to step up and be able to make shots and make plays.
Obviously, the cheat sheet out is with me. Every team from here on out is going to double and triple team me. And so we just got to find ways to counteract that and make shots.
At the end of the day, Indiana came out of the gates flat. Slow starts have plagued this team, and it did again today.
Just to start out the game, you can't start out flat. It's a top 15 ranked opponent, ranked game, and we came out flat. And I think some of the looks on our faces were just, wasn't necessarily scared, but it was just we weren't ready. We weren't ready to go.
From Allen Fieldhouse, I'm Josh Bode, IUS TV Sports. The Colts got back to work today against the 3-3 Lions. Today's game marked the beginning of a brutal November schedule for the Horseshoe. The combined record of their next 5 opponents going into play today was 23-7. Frank Reich on the sidelines here. He's unbeaten as Colts coach coming off a bye week. Early second quarter, play action. Phillip Rivers dumps it over to Nyheim Hines. He's got a lot of green in front of him, racing down the sideline. A spin move, a dive, and he's in for the touchdown. He's got a cartwheel here, and I'm not going to pretend like I know the rest of the gymnastics terms for that one. A minute before halftime, Phillip Rivers drops back again, lofts one down the sideline. Nyheim Hines again. Have a day, Nyheim Hines. And another celebration. That one was awesome. Third quarter, the defense steps up for the Colts. Darius Leonard gets a strip sack on Matthew Stafford. Justin Houston recovers it, and the Colts defense was all over the place, forcing turnovers on Sunday. The ensuing drive, Jordan Wilkins a 1-yard touchdown run. That extends the Colts lead to 2 scores. The very next play, Matthew Stafford looking to make a comeback for the Lions. It's not going to happen here. Kenny Moore jumps the route, got a lot of green in front of him, takes it back to the house. That's a pick 6, and that play would help the Colts get the win, 41-21, and move to 5-2 on the season.